Scrooge wakes up and listens for the church bells to tell the time. It rings 12, but he went to bed at 2 a.m, so he cannot work out what night it is. He's also still wondering whether the visit from Marley was a dream, when he remembers the first spirit is supposed to visit at 1 a.m. So he waits. When the church bell rings, a light flashes into the room, and the curtains of the bed are drawn back by a strange figure. This ghost shifts its shape constantly, looking old, young, light, dark, one-armed, 20-legged, headless, bodiless, faded and bright, all at the same time. One thing that is consistent is that it has a beam of light shining from the top of its head, and it carried a cap. It identifies itself as the ghost of Christmas past and says that it wants to help him. Scrooge is hesitant and reluctant, especially when the ghost pulls him towards the window, saying he will fly if he is touching the ghost. They step through the wall and visit Scrooge's childhood. None of the people can see or hear them. He sees his school friends going home for Christmas while his younger self stays at school reading. Scrooge actually gets excited as he sees visions of the characters in the books he read. He feels sorry for his younger self and wishes he'd been kinder to the young carol singer who he'd chased away. They go forward in time to the same school a few years later, when Scrooge's younger sister, Little Fan, comes to bring him home for Christmas, after which their father will be getting him a job. He clearly loved his sister and is uneasy thinking about how he treated her son Fred. They then move on to Scrooge in his apprenticeship and see his employer Fezziwig, who is kind and generous and celebrates Christmas with a huge party. Scrooge has so much fun just remembering how well he was treated. He explains to the spirit that Fezziwig understood the power he had as an employer to enrich his employees' lives, and then suddenly remembers how differently he treats his own clerk. They move on to yet another Christmas where Scrooge is a young man, and his fiancée Belle breaks up with him. She tells him he is too obsessed with earning money, and she knows she is too poor for him now. Scrooge is heartbroken watching this. It is made worse for him when the spirit shows him Belle's future with a home full of beautiful children. Scrooge is so upset that he demands the spirit leave him, and he grabs its cap and uses it to put out the beam of light. When he presses the cap on the ghost's head, the spirit disappears, but not the light. Scrooge suddenly becomes very tired and collapses on his bed.